So, we're going to cover the Memphis Tigers today. And since they have finally released the coming schedule, I'm going to give you a preview of next year's schedule. I'm probably going to do a look at certain teams and their schedules and how they could do. But Memphis Tigers have become an interesting team. They have gained a lot of money for their NIL through a deal with FedEx. FedEx has got a big presence in Memphis, and so they've got their ability to outbid a lot of the smaller schools. That being said, they had a good season last year. Actually, a really good season last year, except for two hiccups. They can say that they did a lot of good things. So, we're going to cover them. Oh, also, they don't have a quarterback decided yet. That's going to come out probably soon, but they've got a good stable of quarterbacks to choose from for their QB1. Also, if you don't mind, hit like, subscribe if you like this kind of talk. So, let's get into it.
Hey folks, this is Paul with Redneck Sports. I want to thank you for viewing my video, and I want to give you one thought process. There was a famous coach at the University of Tennessee by the name of General Robert Nealon. He had 6 maxims, but number 2 maxim is what everybody should apply to their life. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That's how to live your life right there.
Okay, when we're looking at this, their record, as I always start out, they smacked down North Alabama. Really good game against Troy. They beat Florida State. They went to Florida State and beat them. Okay, it's Florida State, yeah, but still, a G5 school beating a Power 5 school, especially a storied one like Florida State, yeah, that's pretty bad. They lost to Navy 56-44. It's a very good Navy team. If you follow this channel, you know my love of all things Navy and all things University of Tennessee. So, yeah, uh, they beat Middle Tennessee pretty convincingly. They beat South Florida really good. North Texas was a good game, good hard fought game that they won. Uh, Charlotte was a close one that they won. They got beat by UTSA. That was kind of a surprise. UTSA was hit and miss last year, and this one was a hit, 44-36. Rice was a win, close one by a touchdown. UAB was a smackdown. And then Tulane, they beat Tulane, which caused Tulane to be unable to host the AAC conference game or conference title game. And then they went to the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. That's just a whole lot of interesting in the name of the bowl. They beat West Virginia 42-37. I mean, okay, West Virginia had what they had, but it's still a Power 5 conference. Okay, it's Big 12. And Big 12 spends all its time smacking down on each other. There's so much parity there. And, but it's still one of those situations where probably shouldn't have happened, but Memphis was that good. So they beat two Power 5 conference teams. Okay, they also beat they they're doing a really good job there, and you can expect them to get better. Okay, now sometimes I cover the quarterback if the QB1's coming back the next year. We're not going to do that because Seth Hennigan has already been in the combine, and so he's going pro. So on the offense, Seth Tennigan was leading passer, 3,502 yards. Now, see, that's where you start getting into. You've seen a lot of these other teams that I have covered. 3,502 for passing yards. Yeah, that's where it needs to be at. Rushing yards, Mario Anderson Jr., 1,362. Receiving yards, Rock Taylor, 950. So, Seth Tennigan threw for 25 touchdowns and was only intercepted 6 times. That's a good number. He was sacked 19 times. That's a little weak sauce for the offensive line. Mario Anderson had 236 carries, 1,362, 18 touchdowns. Brandon Thomas, 57, 335, and 9. Greg Disrosaries? Okay, I'm butchering this man's name. I am sorry, sir. 31, 228, and 3. Few other guys, Seth Tennigan included, had a rushing touchdown. Um, Receiving, Rock Taylor, as I said, leading rusher, but he only had 2 touchdowns rushing or receiving. Demir Lackamsey, 45 receptions, 677 yards, 6 touchdowns. Um, Anthony Landfear, 33 receptions, 379 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Mario Anderson Jr., 52, 312, and 3. And the guy that I just messed up his name, this Rosiers, 21, 175, and 4. So, see, they were bouncing around. They had a lot of weapons here. Brendan Doyle, 13, 105, and 3. And a couple other guys got touchdowns as well. They had 33 rushing touchdowns, 25 uh, receiving touchdowns. They had a pretty good selection as to where they could go when it came to scoring. While Seth Tennigan was their primary quarterback, they had a couple. They had a couple other guys that they could, you know, balance in there just to give a different look, but they didn't really use that. But when it came to rushing and receiving, yeah, they had a good selection as to where they could go. So this was a balanced team on offense. That was a good thing. Now, on the defensive side of things, Chandler Martin had the most tackles, 111. Davian Ross had 3 interceptions. You look at, they had a Greg Rubin had 74 tackles. Matt Hudson, 65 tackles. Elijah Herring, 60 tackles. AJ Watts, 55 tackles. Davian Ross, 51 tackles. Sacks wise, Chandler Martin had 7 sacks. That's a good thing. Most of the rest of the guys were, they only had 25 sacks on the year, which, not bad. Elijah Herring had 3.5. They could have been a little bit better when it came on defense on that side of things. Interceptions, they had 11 interceptions, but no touchdowns from the interceptions. Forced fumbles, they had 16. Forced runs, they had 15. It was an okay defense. They probably need a little bit more oomph in their defense. I mean, but Chandler Martin was a standout. Take a look at, okay, you had Davian Ross getting 3 interceptions. Even AJ Watts had an interception, ran 79 yards, so you know he was trying. So these guys were not bad defense, really. I mean, I don't see a problem with their defense. They probably just need a little bit more than anything else. This is not a team that should be ashamed of their defense. Probably just needs a little extra work. I mean, when you take a look at they only lost 2 games last year, that's not bad at all. So that's a decent defense. Now, Memphis Tigers have got a decent team. They've got a decent coach. Um, Ryan Silverfield is he's going to get noticed. He will probably get a chance to move up with what he has done at Memphis. I mean, you take a look at his career. Started out Bowles School, Florida, as an assistant. Hampton Sydney, if you don't know where that school is, it's in Virginia. He spent several years there. Offensive assistant, defensive line coach, tight end coach. Then went back to a high school setting with Memorial Day in Georgia, which is a really big school. Then he went to Jacksonville Dolphins. That's a Jacksonville University. It's in as a QB coach. UCF as graduate assistant. Miami Vikings offensive side DL assistant or staff assistant and assistant offensive line coach. So he got that time. Toledo offensive consultant, Arizona State, Detroit Lions he was offensive line coach for Memphis from 2016, moved. So he's been at Memphis since 2016. Overall, he's 42-21 in college, 1-9 in high school, and Bowles 4-1. Uh, so he's a good coach with a lot of experience. Now next year they've got a manageable uh, start to their year. They're playing Chattanooga. I like the Moccasins. I'm from Tennessee. I know the Moccasins. I know people that went to UTC. Now they're playing Georgia State. That one's going to be a tough one, more than likely. Troy will be a decent game. Arkansas, I heard people talking about, oh, they should beat Arkansas. No, they really shouldn't. Sam Pittman is looking to not lose his job. No, that is not going to be a win for them. If it is, I'll be shocked. If they are that good, then there'll be talks of them going G5 if they can keep the rankings up. Now, they're playing FAU, Tulsa, UAB, South Florida, Rice, Tulane, East Carolina, and Navy. They don't have to play Army. They still have to play Tulane, who is going to be looking for payback. Navy, it's Navy, and it's at the end of the year. Navy's going to want to they're going to want that game. Well, they want every game. South Florida is going to be an interesting one. Golish has got South Florida looking pretty interesting, and he's probably tired of being lower down than he should be. It's going to be a pretty tough schedule after a bit. I mean, he's going to start out in a situation where, okay, UTC, hey, it's UTC. They're not even in the same division, you know. But Georgia State is a tough one. Georgia State always plays you scary. And that Arkansas one, Sam Pittman's looking to do something with Arkansas. And like I said, people think that Memphis can beat them. They possibly can, but I don't see it with this one. So that's my take on Memphis, mostly of this past year, but a little bit preview going on. So this has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.
I want to thank you for watching my video. And if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, and comment. Y'all have a good day now.